and welcome to Antisyphon Address-Based Layout Randomization. In this particular episode, it is brought to you by Black Hills Information Security. There for you and all your hacking needs. It is also brought to you by Antisyphon Infosec Training. We do training, and our training doesn't suck. Today, we are joined by Joff Thyer, who's going to teach us regular expressions. Joff, how you doing, man? We don't have to be doing the whole thing.
I am doing well. The pre-show music countdown was so soothing.
Dude, I had a moment of zen.
I actually thought that John was actually going to come on and do kind of like an end of church service benediction, right?
Yeah, that is exactly like that last few seconds. I was like,
all right,
let us go. Everybody, please go with God,
people, and let's do good things. So
turn to page 483 in the hymnals.
I noticed that somebody realized that I de-aged myself by about 30 years.
You added the. Oh, you shaved. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a filter.
I'm back to.
I was like, did you turn the filter up higher?
Yeah, I'm now back to being carded when I buy candy bars. So everybody, I want to say thank you very much for showing up to another edition of ASLR. In this particular edition, we're going to get straight into the tech because we don't want it to be four grown men who can't get enough of each other. Today, I've got a special treat for all of you. We're trying to bring you intense, quick technical skills. And today, we're going to learn about regular expressions. But wait. You're probably wondering, what are regular expressions? And do they actually run the entire universe? The answer is yes. And for that, Joff is going to be doing some regular expression magic. And this is stuff that's coming straight out of his Regular Expressions, Your New Lifestyle class from Antisyphon Training. So Joff, take it away. Show us what you got.
All right. So I think we're going to put the screen up there, Ryan, in a minute. There it is. And you got a whole bunch of text on the screen. So look, okay, as John said, I teach this thing, a 4-hour class, Regular Expressions, Your New Lifestyle. And really the goal of my class is I want you to adopt regular expressions into your information security career and use it in various tools and programming languages as you are performing data analysis, right? This is what it's all about. And it's about, gaining more power in achieving your objective when you're trying to perform this sort of analysis. So we'll go back to the screen. What I've got here is a big black screen full of log data. And one of the things that some people might know about me is I really enjoy experimenting on my children. So like literally 45 minutes ago or so, or maybe it's a little bit longer, an hour and a half ago, I think, I experimented on my son and captured some DNS logs, right? Now, he does, DNS like anybody on a network.
So
you're going to try to avoid the names.
So you captured DNS traffic from a young man. I did. This can't go wrong. Carry on, Joff.
It looks relatively benign. We've got iCloud and Apple and some Gearbox software and, I don't know, Tribago services. Anyway, here's our goal. Let's get down to it. What we want to do is actually use this bind DNS server log and parse the data in such a way that we can bring it into a script, like a Python script, and perform some analysis on it. Like, who of us doesn't do analysis of log files in this industry? And if you answered no, I don't believe you, right? Everybody, whether we're attacking, whether we're defending, we're always doing analysis of log files. So let's do this, right? We're going to take RegEx101.com, which is an awesome website, and RegEx101.com allows you to effectively paste in some data in this box here and then construct a regular expression to match against that data. Now, on RegEx101, one of the really cool things is you can specify different varieties of regular expression. There are some subtle differences between various implementations of regular expressions, right? Most of the confusion for everybody out there comes from the split between what are called POSIX-based regular expressions versus Perl-compatible regular expressions, otherwise known as PCRE. PCRE today, especially in programming languages, is much more prevalent. So if you're Python scripting or you're, Java scripting, I'm sorry if you're doing that. I couldn't help it. Or working in, let's say...
Why would you do that to yourself?
Why would you do that to yourself? Or working in Ruby, no, forget that. Or working in like C# or something. You're going to be using PCRE-based regular expressions if you want to apply regular expression knowledge to some sort of analysis task that you're doing. So what we're going to select here on the screen is Python-based regular expressions, and we're going to construct a regular expression that will parse out some lines of this log file for analysis, right? And I'm going to use a feature of regular expressions called capturing groups. So to use capturing groups in regular expressions, we enclose them in parentheses. So we have a set of parentheses there. Now this regular expression does absolutely nothing right now. We need to start typing in some parts of the expression to match the data on that log file line. Well, the first thing I'd want to do is I want to capture the timestamp field of that log file. You can see at the top it says May 18, 1508, which was an hour and a half ago, and it's got firewall, which is the name of my perimeter firewall that's running the DNS, right? So I'm going to type something in here. I'm going to type in \W, open curly brace, close curly brace 3. What that is a set in a regular expression to match word characters. So word characters are defined as any letters A through Z, uppercase, lowercase, 0 through 9, as well as the underscore. And so the letters MAY for May are going to match. The curly brace 3 means match 3 of the previous character in my pattern. Okay?
So, and this is one of the things I love about the Regular Expression 101 site is the fact that if you have like firewall, which has multiple three character sections, it colors them in different shades of green.
Exactly.
It makes it so easy to see it.
So it's a beautiful thing that way, right? You get to see instant gratification of the match as you're building that expression, as John says, which is really, really awesome, right? Now, I want to show you an additional feature of Python-based regular expressions. I've selected Python deliberately, and that is you can do something called naming the capturing group. And so what I just typed in was $P less than, and then the word timestamp, and a greater than, and that enables us to name that captured group. And so any data that's captured in that first section is now going to be called timestamp. All right, so by doing that, we get to create actual field names in the logs that we're parsing, which is really, really cool, but we've got to complete it and get us that full timestamp within the capturing group. So I'm going to create an additional set here, and I'm going to put a digit in it, a colon in it, and a space in it, and then I'm going to put the character plus right after that. And what did I do just then? Well, just like \W, I created what's known as a custom set. And the custom set contains specific characters. \D means match any digit, okay? Colon means, well, I'm just going to match a colon. \S means match any space character. Space characters typically are defined as a tab space or a new line, by the way, in the world of PCRE. And then the plus means match one or more of those things behind, of the character that I specified behind in those square brackets, right? Now, something you've got to remember about regular expressions is they're like Pac-Man. They consume data from left to right. So whenever you're creating this pattern matching string against your data, you've got to think of Pac-Man trying to use these rules, right? And going this way, actually, left to right. It'll probably be mirrored on the webcast. Left to right, trying to consume the data and satisfy that match. Now, occasionally Pac-Man says, oh my God, I got to spit out some characters and back up a little bit. And so occasionally Pac-Man goes, backs up, and then he keeps going as he's trying to satisfy that match.
I've got a question. The question is, please explain how to decipher nested capture groups. I read that they are treated differently depending on the type of RegEx.
Yeah. Can we hold that question a little bit later?
Sure.
We can hold that towards the end.
Cool.
I will try to explain that.
No worries.
Okay, so I've closed this group. We've matched a timestamp, but what you'll notice is other data fields are being highlighted and being matched here. And so to do a delimited kind of action here, we need to get a little bit more specific with the delimiters that are in the file, right? So we know there's a space between the timestamp and the word firewall, for example. So we could deliberately put a space there in the pattern match, and we've now, by doing that, getting to the point of restricting our match down to closer to being just the timestamp. And so we can continue to take this kind of approach to separate out all of the different pieces of that log line as we construct our regular expression to match and consume across the line. So, for example, if I did dot plus, the dot character in a regular expression pattern match means match any possible character. So dot plus means match one or more of any possible character. You'll see the highlight goes all blue because it's matching the rest of the log line, okay? But we can tell it to stop. We can say, oh, wait a minute. We want to see a space after dot plus. Well, that didn't work. What's going on? Well, regular expressions are actually being a little bit too greedy here, is what's going on. It's still consuming the rest of the line. So we can tell it to be a little bit less greedy by using a question mark. So when we've got this concept of greediness in regular expressions with some of these quantifiers, right? Dot plus means one or more of anything. Then we told it, wait a minute, back up. We're going to have a delimiter right after you. Stop being so darn greedy, and let's try to capture that delimiter of a space right after it, all right? So then we're just matching firewall. But what I'm really trying to get at here is I want to get us across this line of log text to match the IP address, right? That's my next goal, okay? So instead of \s there, well, actually, in fact, I could leave that there. What I can try to do is construct a regular expression in a capturing group here to match an IP address. And I'm going to name it with the Python naming convention of $P less than IP greater than, right? Named captured groups. And then I'm going to construct what I call a naive regular expression to match an IP address. All right? And this is a little bit of voodoo magic here, but I'll explain it. My naive regular expression to match an IP address is \d\dot inside square brackets as a character set, and then between 7 and 15 of either of those characters. Now, if you think about an IP address in your head, it's a naive expression. The shortest possible IP address lengthwise, because this is text processing, could be 1.1.1.1, for example. Count the characters out. That is 4 digits and 3 dots, which is exactly 7 characters. And so if I have a set that matches either a digit or a dot, and I match 7 of them, I've matched an IP address. The longest possible IP address would be something like 123.456. Well, that's not a legitimate IP address, but you get my meaning. 111.222.333.444, whatever. I'm saying illegal IP addresses, but you get the idea. If you count the characters in that longer IP address, there's 15 of them, all right?
Joff?
12 digits and 3 dots. Yes, sir.
Joff, I actually understand what you're saying.
Yeah, me too. Well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Yes. So, and Jason now is adopting regular expressions into his lifestyle.
In his lifestyle.
I'm starting to like it's like years and years of just. I was like,
we still aren't at T-shirt level yet, but we're getting there.
We're getting close. I want to point out something else. Because we're using capturing groups here, what RegEx 101 does for us really nicely is it gives you the named groups on the right-hand side of the page here. You see we've got group timestamp, and we've got the actual match data. We've got group IP and the matched data. And if we scroll down, we can see that those individual matched groups are there for each of the log lines. And so we're steadily moving towards achieving our objective, right? And one of the reasons that RegEx 101 is so fabulous is because you can take that regular expression as it is over to a Python script and use it directly in the Python script, right? Anytime Chonka says, can't I just pay Joff to do RegEx for me? Yeah, the hourly billing rate is going to be exorbitant.
But on the flip side, he's real fast. So,
yeah.
but he always rounds up.
This is called RegEx stunt hacking, is what John and I tagged this earlier, because we literally, I've done this before where it's like, oh my God, did you just see that? Joff just stunt hacked a RegEx right there on the screen, right? And we're doing the thing. All right, so let's do that. We take this whole regular expression. We're satisfied. We've only got our IP match and our timestamp match. We know that we can continue on and get other things, but we really don't have time in this little stream to do that. What I want to show you now is we're going to drop into a Python script, and we're going to take that regular expression and put it directly into our Python script. So here's the same regular expression, or nearly the same. I don't know whether I exactly replicated it. And I copied the regular expression directly from RegEx 101 into a Python variable, okay? And I set it to regex equals and used raw string in Python. That's very important because you don't want the Python string engine to reinterpret any of the regular expression backslashes. That's a slightly different topic here, right? And then I opened up a file as a file handler, and I'm just looping through the file, and I'm performing a regular expression match using precisely the regular expression that I developed in RegEx 101. And then I'm just printing out those two captured groups, right? Timestamp and group IP. So if I've done my work correctly in my little Python script, we should be able to parse through this log by running the Python script and giving it the log file name, and then maybe piping it to more in my Linux system here. And sure enough, you can see the timestamp and the client IP address. Cool, right? In very short time, we've developed a small script to pull out two fields from that DNS log with extremely good accuracy, right? A precise match. We've applied that pattern matching engine to do the work for us. Now, listen, regular expressions are not a programming language. Repeat after me. Regular expressions are not a programming language. They are a pattern matching text processing tool. They're implemented in a C library that was first developed for the Perl programming language and has been carried forward into Python and many other projects such as Apache, PHP, and so forth. Oh my God, I really threw up in my mouth a little when I said PHP. But so it's
Are
not
you okay?
Do you
need a doctor? Okay.
I might need a doctor.
He'll be all right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So look, we can play games again with this. We can say, okay, I want to skip forward and I want to go to the point where I can see the actual query. So I'll match the string exactly called query, and then I'll match another space, and then I'll write myself another group here called domain so that I can match the actual DNS domain name. Now, many of you probably understand the exact legal characters that can appear in a DNS domain name. What are those characters, John Strand?
They would be alphanumeric.
Yeah, pretty much. There's some restrictions. They are \W, but we don't want \W because it includes an underscore. And actually, an underscore is not a legal DNS character name. So we can do this instead. We can say a range of characters, A through Z uppercase, A through Z lowercase, 0 through 9, we included digits, and we include dash. And the other thing about a domain name is it can always contain a dot, right? To separate the individual portions of the domain name. And then we can just put plus after that set, put another space to delimit the end. Guess what we just did? We now have a third matching group that is pulling out the domain name. Perfect. And we have a very precise regular expression that will only match the actual legal characters of the DNS domain name and nothing beyond that. So it's a scalpel, right? It's a good tool in that respect, right? So we can take our regular expression, we can go back to our script, say, okay, well, let's edit our script. We use VI because there is no other text editor in the world. I want you to repeat that after yourself. There is no other text editor than VI because VI rules, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
You heard it here, folks. This is where the holy war started.
Yeah, it is. It's my fault.
We didn't start the fire.
All right, so now I'm printing out the group match. So the other thing about the Python regular expression thing is that we can use this method called group to pull out a group match out of the regular expression that's being matched by name. And I really love that name feature, right? So let's do that again. Oh, guess what? I forgot to print it out. So let's print it out now. All right. I did print it out, except I just forgot to put this in there in the format string.
Right, I was gonna say that. I was totally gonna say that, and I
didn't want to say anything, but you know,
format string fail. Right, here it is. All right, now look, I'm going to show you another really cool feature for log analysis because we've actually got spare time. Do we have spare time, guys?
We do. We do. You're doing good.
Like all I know is that stream of DNS, everything was okay. There wasn't anything in there.
You'll if there is something bad, you'll see it like right away.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, we're fine. You're fine.
All right. Everybody's good. Right. So I'm gonna do something wicked here. I'm going to create a Python list of domains, and instead of just printing it, I'm going to append the domain to the Python list of domains here. All right. All right. Here we go. m.group. Domain, there I go, appending it to the list of domains, right? And then I'm going to do this at the very end. I'm going to print, before I print, I'm going to use a counter dictionary to perform frequency counting on the domains by updating the dictionary called C with my domains list. And then I'm going to print out the topmost domains. I
had a feeling you were going to do that. Like that's exactly where I thought.
That's where you would go, wouldn't it? I mean, that totally right there. Where you go, right?
Yeah,
you got it.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So now we can see that my son appears to be pretty addicted to this gearboxsoftware.com. I have no idea what he's doing. There's a frequency count of 8 of that domain. And Spotify.com seems to be popular with him. And we have Epic Games. Now, that doesn't surprise me, right? And so on, right? Wow! Check that out. I mean, this just is the coolest thing. This is a Python script that is 20 lines long where I just pulled out the domain, the IP, the timestamp, and then I did a frequency count on the domain data and instant analysis. Right?
And once you have this in place, you can just run it anytime you want for any log data that you get.
Well, for any log data that matches that format that you've defined the regular expression for, right?
And we can you copy this and send it to Jason so we can post it? Just because otherwise Jason's going to get people all the time saying,
absolutely. I'll even send the sample data.
Oh, I won't tell my son. That's brave. That's brave.
Reverse Shell, thanks for following. Cleo Tech, thanks for following. Marsha Sox, Tire Fire, Just Frame, Rala Jitsu, Pez Kid, Shy Wolf Game, Popper Man, Dallas Star. So we had a lot of people follow us today. Thank you so much for following. This is something that we're doing now. In fact, if you could do me a favor, if you just chat in the chat, it's super helpful for us. It gives us more features inside Twitch because they're like, oh, you have a bunch of people chatting, you must be popular. And so just chat. Thank you.
We want more of
there was an early question that I should address, and that was, can you embed a capturing group within another capturing group? I believe I'm paraphrasing that question, but I think that's what it was. And the answer is yes, you can. However, the reasons you would want to do that is probably to implement a logical OR expression inside the pattern match. And so what you want to do with the embedded group is disable the capture group behavior so that you don't confuse the capturing group logic. Now that was a lot, but hopefully that makes
we could do that another stream. Let's get to the questions. Some of you have already asked questions. If you could repost those questions, that would be great because they went by pretty fast for us as well. Feels weird typing inside of Twitch instead of Discord. I know.
Feel twitchy.
I know. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. All right. Did I get a haircut? No. Well, I just shaved. That's all.
Those are hairs that were cut.
They are hairs that are cut. And yeah, I'm going to lean off the back of my deck and buzz my hair down.
Oh, that's a big question. Here it comes.
All right. Here we go. We got it. Can RegEx help convert a date timestamp from one time zone to another? For example, you have a list of dates in UTalk from a JSON data source, and you want to see those dates in your local time zone.
Yeah. Okay. So good question. Remember this. Regular expressions is not a programming language. It is a text pattern matching tool, okay? Which means to perform timestamp conversion, you would not be able to do that in regular expressions. You need to use something else.
I would recommend using setterrock for that.
That would work. If you're in the Python world, you can use the date timestamp module.
If you're researching that, I'm going to give you a hint. If you research converting UTalk to local time, you're not going to get as many hits as converting local time to unified time. Yeah. And the reason why is it's a far more common thing whenever we're doing incident response for us to try to normalize all of our log sources to a specific date time zone, okay? So if you're going to research that, just a hint, look at it the other way, and then you can apply that exact same thing in reverse. And yes,
I would agree. And UTC rocks. That's a good way to go if you want to go. You know, that's your goal. UTC is
UTalk. I always think of it as like little Jawas. UTalk.
I love the way John thinks of that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just the way I think of things. Another question. So we did the timestamp one. Oops. All of a sudden, I can't zoom up and down as well. So one of the things, so here's one of the questions I had. Your filter for IP address is one of the most basic filters for IP address I have ever seen.
Correct.
Most of them are the very complicated, you know, it can be between 1 and 3 characters between the dots, and it can be these specific number sets, and it gets really overly complicated. And I've seen people like make snide comments in the audience about yours. I'm just going to say yours works. Like it works really well.
Well, think about this, right? I teach this in the class, and I highly recommend that you come to the class. Remember, I use the words naive regular expression to match an IP address. It is naive. It is not precise. It's going to match 999.888.777.666 is not a legal IP address. I know that, you know that. But if you're pulling data out of a log file, that IP address is probably going to be the real IP address. And so if you're just trying to do some delineation and separate out those fields in the log file, you don't need to go all, I don't know, roid rage basically on your regular expression, right? You don't need to do the precise regular expression.
Well, and one of the things I think that's nice about this, I'm sure that there's an edge case where something could sneak through and whatever, right? If you were creating a regular expression that was parsing data, that was running, nuclear power plants, yeah, you'd probably try to be as precise as you possibly can. When you're doing quick and dirty log analysis, this works great. We have another question, and keep those questions coming. Has anyone written a program that when a regex string is entered, an example of what it would find is output? Testing regular expression currently seems like a manual hit or miss operation. I kind of think that's what Joff did. I might be misunderstanding the question, but going to regular expressions 101 kind of is doing that on the fly.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the nice thing about this website, and I think honestly, I like it in that form better than I would if it were a command line kind of program or utility, because in this form, you get some highlights on the screen that is really visual and really helpful in terms of understanding the regular expression. And then if you're, in a language construct such as Golang or Python or whatever, you can take it directly into the programming language and validate it. So, I think it works really well.
So anytime Chonker, of course, anytime you code anything in Python ever, people are going to have questions. Anytime Chonker asks Joff, in your Python code, why don't you use F quote, quote, or double quote, it's moving on me now, instead of dot format strings?
I used dot format in the format string rather than the shortened version. He's talking about the shortened version of the format string, which is the F, etc. actually in the string. It's just purely personal choice. Doesn't matter. You can go either way. So I just I like it to be able to explicitly see it laid out. That's just my preference.
You bet. We did the nested capture groups. We got that one. Somebody asked, all of our recordings are now called ASLR, or Antisyphon Address-Based Layout Randomization. And that's actually the name of our live streams on Tuesday and Wednesday, because we don't know what it's going to be, right? It could be teaching a specific section of class, could be somebody going through part of their class, could be a 3 for 3 where we're getting 3 things from somebody like we did yesterday with Chris Brenton. It's kind of a potpourri, but calling it potpourri sounds really weird for an IT thing. Yeah. So we went with address-based layout randomization.
It might even be like a job hunting thing.
I just love it because ASLR just like makes you go, oh man, this must be geeky, right? So it's like perfect.
Yes, ASMR.
Somebody said Joff's choice is wrong, like his taste in text editors.
All right,
and
well,
I'm listening right there. I'm just like, yeah, well, we're done.
We could take that trolling to the social medias.
we can. Let's take this to the Twitter. Jason's like, let's not. All right, what else do we have? And we've got the link for the class as well. Invoke Flameware. Yeah, very much.
Fight me at Deadwood. Oh no.
Oh no. We don't do that. We work in IT.
Do that.
That would be like a geek fight, and no one wants to.
Don't we have
you ever seen the T-Rex? You ever seen T-Rex trying to fight?
No, that's just terrifying.
What if there was like a bear versus bear?
So I got a question for you, and I've kind of wondered this. Anytime I see someone that can do regular expressions like you do, you've been hurt deeply by regular expressions. This isn't something you just learn and you're like, I got it. You had to do something horrific with regular expressions to get to the point where you're at the proficiency that you're at now. And I'm guessing it had something to do with the university in the background.
Yeah, my past university experience.
So inside the Hackers Studio, Joff, tell us about something traumatic with regular expressions that you had to do back in the university setting.
Yeah. Well, let's just say writing computer account management systems in Perl for managing 12,000 student accounts every semester was a painful and hurtful experience, and required me to step up the game a little bit. So that's part of my past trauma. The other thing, though, that trips up a lot of people in regular expressions is the fact that in many programming languages, the backslash in a string expression escapes a character.
And for me, that breaks my head, right? Like, it's so consistent for everything, and then you get here.
So in the world of regular expressions, you cannot have that happen. The backslash must not escape the character. The backslash must be passed into the regular expression code for processing. So you notice on the screen, there's that little R in front of the string definition of the regular expression. You see that little R right after regex equals? That's telling Python, do not process this string as if those are escape sequences. Do not treat the backslash as if it were escaping a special character. Another way of saying that is, leave it alone. It's a raw string. Do not reprocess it in any way. so that we can send it directly into the regular expression engine. And that is critically important, because if you don't do that, you will never get your regular expression correct.
Yeah. Marsha Socks asked a question. I thought that was a really good one. I still don't know that how grouping stuff works. Like, just do super simple greps. And so you did the Regular Expressions 101 website. And I think for most of us, the way that we did this, when you're building your regular expression to move into your code, what you actually end up doing more often than not before we had Regular Expressions 101 is you were literally running a grep statement with the regular expression, looking at the output, and then running it until the point it was clean. And then you actually put it in your program. Can you show us how you can take that regular expression string and add it into a grep statement?
Yeah, so you might be doing something like this. So grep has two flags, all right? I'll put this at the top of the screen so people can see. Grep has a -p flag in modern versions, which means use use Perl compatible regular expressions, or it has a -e flag, capital E, which means use POSIX compliant regular expressions. So that's something that I didn't even realize until I had to actually write the course and go, oh my God, grep has a Perl compatible regular expressions flag, which is this P, which is kind of awesome, right? So if it has this, we can then use our single quote and try to do something regular expression-y like \W3 for the first 3 characters of the log, and see if we get any result, right? Notice grep by default will do the color highlighting for you, right? In most Linux systems. And I apologize if you're colorblind, but for me, that's a godsend, right? Because, text is hard enough to process over time. But if you actually have highlighting on what you're exactly matching, that's beautiful, right? So we can actually do a Perl compatible regular expression here and try to match pieces of this. So maybe we have between 1 and 2 digits for the day, and we can, match with May 18th, and then we can go forward and match our date, and we can put that in a group as well. Let's see what happens when we put it in a group. I haven't tried this in a while, so this is truly stunt hacking with grep. We could do \D colon, and then we can do let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are there? 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be exactly 8 of those. So we can match that and see how that works, right? And you can see with grep, I mean, you can actually extract this stuff out. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember right now with grep how to pull out just the captured group. Actually, I'll try it. I think the flag 0 does it. No, the flag 0 just pulls out the match itself.
Yep.
But yeah, you can play with this and see how you do. But yeah, grep can do, putting me on the spot, John, thanks. But yeah, grep can do compatible regular expressions.
That's what we do. I didn't intend to.
Our new show is we just put Joff on the spot, just for here we go. Can you do this?
I think we're gonna end up at a con one time with Ready Set Go Stunt Hack Now.
Yeah. It's going to be like that scene in The Social Network where everyone's around the circular tables and they're hacking and they're like, "I'm in." All right, yeah, that's.
I mean, it's kind of a variation on the you have 3 slides to present and you don't know what they are. Go right, and we've done that at cons before,
yeah,
and it's
we've
fun.
had that. Like Ian did slide roulette at Way West, and it went really, really well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it can also just go way off the track.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, remember that grep does have a P for Perl compatible. It has E for ERE, which is ERE POSIX, and you can look at that. Oh, you know what? I should point out another thing. I did publish a cheat sheet for regular expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I remember where it is. It's at my Rivergun security thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Who's got my link? Sorry.
Just go enter from there. It'll list all your repositories.
Yeah, that'll be good.
There's
while
your
we're-
expression one.
Also, Coach Danny, thanks for following. Summersoft, thanks for following.
Here we go. So in the Rivergum Security GitHub repo, there is a RegEx cheat sheet PDF here, and that is right out of my class, and you are absolutely welcome to download it. And it is essentially a PDF version of a spreadsheet that I put together that gives you a short cheat sheet on all the character classes, both POSIX, PCRE, gives you examples in Linux, Unix command line, gives you examples in PowerShell, gives you examples in Python, gives you all the behavior modifier language. It's a really concise and dense cheat sheet, but I think you'll find it really useful. So go grab that and enjoy.
We should definitely get this out to people. And She
Yeah.
Networks could use this to make some stuff with.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, is the show over yet?
Yeah.
It was over like 20 minutes ago. We like
Yeah,
killed the
we just
stream.
kept going. We don't know when to stop. We're like a dead
Yeah.
fish that's still going upstream.
Oh,
no.
my daughter's fish at the school died today. Like there goes her whole
Oh,
grade.
man.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough stuff. All right. Well, everybody, Rivergum is his training company. So everybody that teaches for Antisyphon, just so you know, we don't force them to be under the Antisyphon banner, and all their stuff is owned by Antisyphon and things like that. They all have their own companies. So you'll see like Defensive Origins, you'll see Rivergum, you'll see a bunch of people because I don't own these people. They're their own individuals, and they may do their classes other places, and that's awesome. We're just
We
trying to bring
literally
people
have a family of LLCs. It's crazy.
yeah,
Delaware is like, yes, give me all your money.
right. So, all right,
Give me a
everybody.
Big Mac and an LLC.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And next week, I have no idea at all what we're going to offer you next week. I do know that I'm teaching next week my cyber deception class. So I'm going to be a bit punch drunk after teaching all day and then coming on here. But we're going to line up some more cool stuff. And as I said, it's always random and it's always awesome. So thank you so much for joining. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and all those things. Because once again, that's cool, I think. So thank you so much. And we'll see you next week, starting with the news and moving into the streams.